The triple asset velocity play. This is what sophisticated investors do to build wealth. And this is why you hear me say 10, 15, 20% doesn't impress me when it comes to annual return. So the first thing that you do, you get a HEC V whole life policy, high early cash value, and you want to get an institutional grade one, okay? This is the kind that the banks own. This is growing at 10.4%. This is what my policy does. This is a real number. I make 10.4% on my money in my whole life policy. Now I have a line of credit against this cash value at 5%. So before I'm even deploying my money, I'm making 5.4%. If I put 50 into oil, I put 50 into real estate. These oil deals are going to generate 14 to 24% in annualized cash flow on every single deal. And then with the real estate, I always look for about 20% in annual cash flow. So what this boils down to is if I look at the cost of borrowing my own money against my own capital to go into oil or to go into real estate, the worst I'm doing is 22.4%. On a good side, 27.4%, sometimes even higher. What affects that is what is the price of a barrel of oil, typically anything above about $72, like oil or real estate. You see smart money, institutional money, banks, things like that, big investors go back into gold or silver. And when the market allows for riskier investing again, they go back into oil, they go back into real estate. I start here, I fund this, I make this. Before I've done anything, I'm making money. I go into oil, I go into real estate. These are the returns that I look for right there. And that allows me to get 22.4 to 27.4%. On top of that, you have depreciation as a massive tax deduction on your real estate investments. And then in oil, you have intangible drilling costs, which allow me to write off up to 80% of that investment capital against my earned income. You have tangible drilling costs, which are depreciated over a 5 to a 7 year period against this cash flow here. And you have a depletion allowance, which is also against the cash flow, thus paying minimal taxes.